Hello, good afternoon. My name is Maria Banga, and I'm the founder of the association Hope for the Abused and the Battered. This is an association that was created in December 2018, on the 10th of December. I can never forget that date. That is World Human Rights Day, and I wasn't expecting that call to say the registration documents were ready. It was just a month after I had dropped them. And since then, things have just been happening almost like magic for the association. And before then, I had joined a platform, I don't know how to call this platform, but an amazing platform for women to, not only women, I think for men to connect and to share their experiences, a very supportive platform. And on this platform, I met a few people, and I'm a very spiritual person. So when my spirit tells me, get closer to this person, I get closer to this person. And one of such persons was, she's called Olutosin. She's in Nigeria, and she's the founder of an association called Star of Hope Transformation Center. Um, I just connected with her like that. I didn't even know about the center. I didn't know about her story. I didn't know a lot more. And I'm not naturally an inquisitive person into the lives of other people and stuff like that. It may seem like I do a lot of those kind of things, but no, I focus more on myself and on what my purpose in life is and how I can do that. And yeah, well, when you have an association like what I have, Hope for the Abused and the Battered, where you work with people who have been abused and battered, and kids who have been raped, and people who are going through mental health challenges, mental illness, you really have little or no time to go about um, wanting to know about other people and what's going on with them and stuff like that. So you just connect based on how you feel and the little things you read sometimes, what people post, but I really don't have so much time. So when my spirit told me in June last year, 2019, to go and meet her, at that time I didn't know how, and I just wrote to her and told her, my spirit tells me to come and meet you. And wow, she told me God is going to provide the means. And eventually, I got a mentor. I also met on World Pulse, and my spirit also told me to connect, to reach out to her. And I reached out to her, and she's in Cameroon, Mrs. Sophie Gassa. So I've been to Yaoundé to meet her a few times, and the connection is so real. I told her I want to go to Nigeria and meet such a person, and she was like, "Yes, go. She's so full of wisdom. She's going to teach you a lot of things and everything." And so I started like, okay, I have to go to meet her. I wanted to go in December, but it wasn't possible. And then before then, we got the grants for a project called the AF project to raise awareness and to advocate for the mental health of IDPs. IDPs are internally displaced persons and people who have fled the crisis zones. Those are vulnerable people, people who have been abused, people who've been through so much trauma. And I was like, I need to learn how to help these people in a way that surpasses the lifespan of this project. So I didn't just want to learn how to execute the project or implement the project. I wanted to learn how to make this project long lasting, long after the grant is over, the 1 year period is over. What can these people take away? That's why I went all the way to Nigeria. And so it was like, the spirit had seen it before it happened, that you will need to go and learn how to help people transform their pain, their trauma into something so productive. And so I finally was able to go on the 22nd of January. Yes, and I was back on the 26th. So that was like 4 days. And those 4 days, I can tell you, there is no amount of money I can call that would qualify what I got in those 4 days. From the reception at the airport, um, to everybody I met, even meeting people I wasn't expecting to meet, and the way I was received, and all what I learned and I continue to learn. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to break it down for you, because this is something I really want to share in detail so other people may know that such things are still possible in 2020, and that you don't lock up yourself, stay in your corner, and think, well, you know it all, or this is all about it. No, reach out to people. Even if you cannot travel physically, you can travel virtually. You can read and read. I've just spent this morning reading her different posts on WordPress, and I'm like, why didn't you read all of this before going there? But I'm like, okay, well, maybe it would have spoiled the whole amazement. For me, it's like, it was simply put marvelous. I didn't even know before I got there that a lot of people flocked to her. I didn't know for how long she's been on WordPress. I didn't know a lot of things. I can be that blunt sometimes. So we wrote to her before I went there. Let me just read what I really wanted to go and get from her. I wanted to learn best practices to leverage small businesses which internally displaced person may undertake as they seek to start life again or avoid or combat mental health challenges due to their plight. You know, when you go through a traumatic experience, there's no way your mental health is going to stay intact. Because when you're traumatized, for example, you cannot sleep again the way you could sleep when you were not traumatized. You cannot eat again the way you could eat. You know, you have these butterflies in your stomach. And even if they put food in front of you, you will not have the same appetite you had before. A lot of things, you know, I'm a psychotherapist, so I can relate to these things. I've studied them and I work with clients who've been through such things. So I wanted to go because, well, from the little bit I had read about her story on WordPress, she's a woman who has been abused. So she knows what abuse is. She knows what trauma is. So she's not just talking to people based on what she can do to what can I say, just a social entrepreneur and make some money and stuff like that. No, she's talking from a point of view of somebody who's been through it, who's had first-hand experience like myself, and who wants to help not only herself but several other women. You know, the emphasis is on women because when we are women, and to be honest, women are much more vulnerable than men. Women have been through much more abuse, and when a woman suffers, it's not only that woman who suffers, it's the whole family that suffers. So that's why I went to Nigeria. And when I got there, well, we had agreed that I was going to take a taxi because she was going to be busy. And for me, it was like, that's okay. I've been to Nigeria 2 times before. And I dupe myself an area girl. So wherever I find myself, I just start to adapt. So I had to take a taxi. But there was another lady who contacted me on Facebook. I didn't even know she was on World Course until then. And her name is Mrs. Stella Akin Moleyan. And she does a lot of things. She has a school. She has an interesting project due, Wake Up the Giants in kids and stuff like that. And so she reached out to me and asked me how she could get my books. And I was like, I'm coming to Nigeria. She was like, oh, wow, that's wonderful. You are somebody I follow a lot and you inspire me and everything. I will come to pick you up at the airport. And I was like, hey, wait a minute. That's what I told myself. Let me go and check this woman out. Why is she coming to pick me up at the airport, going out of her way? And then I was like, okay, well, just enjoy the ride. People can be nice. You're not the only nice person around. So she came to pick me up. And the distance from the airport to where we went, I was like, with traffic, it was like 45 minutes. And at some point, I was like, why would you hold up 45 minutes of your time to come pick somebody up from the airport? But then I now realized that 45 minutes was the time we needed to be conversing. So I also learned a lot from her. So I didn't go to Nigeria in the end just to learn from Sister Tosin and her center, to learn from all the people I met. I met this lady and we had this beautiful time. I was even dozing and she was talking and I was just learning and I was opening my eyes like that so I don't sleep. And I met another sister called a big sister, all of them are my big sister, so let me not just be saying sister like that. Lovette Ego Dara Ezianowi. She's an actress. She's so many things. She has an organization called Women of Virtue Society. You know, this is wonderful. I also met another of Sister Tosin's friend who is also on WordPress, although I didn't know until I met her. Her name is Ekene. Oh my goodness, what's the other name? Ekene Onuwanu. You know, I'm still learning how to pronounce all of these names. And her own organization is called Eagleberg Behavioral Reorientation Initiative. It's so wonderful. 4 days was too small. I need to go back to Nigeria maybe and spend a week or more. It was just so soulful. And so I wrote a post. I'm going to put the link in the write up to this video, which I'm going to share on YouTube. But the post is titled "Some Core Takeaways from My Recent Trip to Nigeria to Inspire and Motivate a Sister." And I say it's really a World Pearl spirit, but well, I connected with most of them through World Pearls. So I love World Pearls a lot, and I talk about World Pearls. I was just made an encourager not too long ago. I wish I had so much time to be encouraging my other sisters every day, but I'll try my best. And so those core takeaways briefly, the first one is that I felt the World Pearl spirit all the way. World Pearl is a community where we connect, we encourage one another. I've not really come across any backbiting on World Pearl, so criticizing and stuff like that. So I really love World Pearl. I mean, if I do a week without posting on World Pearl, I can just go sick. I'm a writer, so I love writing and I love reading. So having a place other than my own blog on WordPress to share like this, I've even kind of abandoned my blog to tell you how much I love WordPress. So that's the first thing, that I felt the WordPress spirit all the way from the reception, and they feeding me with food, right up to the day I was leaving. Sister Ekene actually came to meet me at the airport, and she said she would get in, and I was like, how is she going to get in? Because I was running late and I wanted to at least check in before I wait for her. And then she got in, and so we just had time to take some pictures and everything. I didn't even remember to take out a copy of my book I wanted to give her. I had just 2 copies left. I gave a last copy to the girl at the gate because she was checking my bag, and then she saw the book and she looked at me and she said, "Oh, are you an author?" And I was like, "Yes." And I asked her, "Do you want the copy? Let me show you a copy of my book, my own book. The first one I wrote, my memoir, My Unconventional Loves, My Hurts, My Adulteries, My Redemption." So I asked her, "Do you want a copy?" She said yes. And so I gave her, I signed the copy for her. She was so happy. So it's all thanks to WordPress. The second thing I got from this trip was that people are looking for such a platform, such a community. People are tired of being in an environment where all what people do is take people down, criticize, and say nasty things to one another. That's not it. So when I talked about WordPress, 3 sisters during that trip joined. Not people I met there in Nigeria, just one person, Sister Lovett, she joined. But 2 other people, one from the US and one from Cameroon, they joined. And so I'm like, oh yes, now I can be a WordPress ambassador. I'm going to keep talking to people about this. Let us stop of spending time on platforms where people take out on each other. People try to bring people down with posts, and people trying to judge people and say things that can make people sad. Come to a place, especially as a woman, where whatever you share gets only encouragement, gets only support, gets only ways you can be better, do better. I love that. The third takeaway was, and the most important one for me actually, is that sisters support sisters. Actually, when I was thinking about it all, an idea just came to me, like, write a book about this. And I was like, I don't want to write this book alone. I want to write it with 4 other sisters, so we'll be 5 of us. And so just there, doing a live video, 4 sisters just reach out and like, count me in, count me in, count me in. So we'll be 3 from Cameroon, 2 from Nigeria. And by the grace of God, this book will see the light in next year. I don't know when, maybe January next year, I don't know. It's going to be a big project. We may have a publisher, and we may do a launching in Cameroon and in Nigeria. It's good to have a vision. It's good to have a vision. That's also something I learned from observing and also from reading her other posts now, which is something I also like. You can see my wall. I'm always thinking. I'm always writing things down. I'm always like, I plan things in my head before I even start to talk about it to people. And sometimes people will be like, where's all of that coming from? One thing I learned from Sister Tosin, even before reading the beautiful book she gave me, Gear Up, Bring Business Opportunities to Life, I already have a physical manifestation of her business opportunity. She calls this bag, of course, Tosin turns trash to treasure. So the 5 T's. See how beautiful this bag is. I match it with every dress I wear, and I'm like, this bag can carry my laptop, so I don't even need to have another bag. I've never been keen on possessions and stuff. So once I have one thing which can just take everything and go, I'm good to go. And so I was reading a post she wrote today talking about where she trains women, talking about being addicted to creativity. And I think I am too. Well, I am, not I think. I write poems, I write books, and I'm always thinking about something I can do to. But now I have another idea what I'm going to do. I'm not just going to do that for doing sake, I'm going to do that now to turn that into some business so that it can sustain the organization and not only the women or the IDPs and stuff like that. Because her impact leader vision is to economically empower women survivors of violence with her. And she says that empowering these women economically, it's the core. Because when a woman comes to her center and you speak to this woman and all of that, and yet you don't empower this woman economically, she risks going right back into the hands of this abuse, either without knowing what to do to help herself, or well, she'll just stay there, she's helpless. So what's the whole point? And so I got a lot of all of that, and I'm like, there's so much in me right now. I have to sit down and start to write. Yes. So I wanted to share that with the world, and in this same medium, say thank you so much once more. Sometimes people show you how much they appreciate what you've done for them. You may think it's nothing because you're used to doing that for other people, but for them it is so much more. And so I want to say thank you to her, and I want to encourage people to, as I said in the beginning, don't hold it up. Open up virtually, go visit people. I'm one who doesn't, I don't shy away from visiting people I've never met before. I'm not afraid of nothing. I've been to America, to Vermont, to visit somebody I've known only online, and people were scared around me, but I was like, no, all my spirit tells me go, I go. That's the same way I visited her in Nigeria. And I remember the eve of my visit, somebody was like, is she Igbo or Yoruba? And I was like, I don't know. Should that really matter? In the end, does that matter? Thank you so much. It's all about hope, being the hope for the abused and the battered, and that's what I want to be. I wrote that in 2018, and I'm still looking forward to being the best version of that. Thank you so much.